Welcome to Social Genius, brought to you by Drunk on Social, where we help you stay ahead of social media trends, share the latest news, and highlight the strategies that are working to help you grow your business. Now let's join our hosts, Tristan and Jeff, in 3, 2, 1.
We get the question a lot, where do I start on social media? And I think, Tristan, you and I take this for granted because we talk about so many advanced strategies, and you and I are both having so many conversations with so many potential, salespeople and potential clients that they say, where do I start? And the thing that blows me away, and I think you too, it's like we forget, like a lot of people have taken this for granted, and now they're struggling like hell and realizing I got to do something. And it's not that they're not on social, but they want to take it serious now. So let's talk about that. Where do you advise somebody to start if they either need to literally start fresh or blow up what they've been doing and start over?
Okay, I'll take that. Here, this is where I think we should start because I feel like I'm brand new on Twitter. And I've had to rethink this process through because it's been a long time, dude. And so I thought, well, what can I do since the stuff that I'm posting at the time wasn't working? So I had to rethink it. And I think where we all can start easily is in the engagement section. And we think that we have to create content first. But I think first we have to understand and connect with people. So as you're engaging, so that should be one of the core steps, not necessarily the first one for everyone, but one of the core steps. When you go through on any social outlet, there are people that you're following. And if you engage with them and engage with other people that are commenting there, it does a few things. One, it allows you to get into practice of doing it and showing up. Got it? This is a participation sport, number one. Number two, as you're going through, you're also paying attention to what other people are commenting. It's like, oh, I see the differences, right? Oh, I see the hate, I see the love, kind of getting used to that. And then the other one that I think is really important is what Jeff and I do really well, is we go through and we kind of study what people are posting. So it gives us ideas. Oh yeah, we can do that. Oh yeah, we can't do that. Oh, I really like that. I don't like this. And I think that starts creating an internal process to create more confidence so that I can finally show up to create content. What do you think?
Actually, that's good. And the funny thing is when we decided we were going to start talking about this, and this is going to be a series, by the way, this is going to be an ongoing series for as long as it takes, 50 episodes, 500 episodes, 5 episodes. I don't know. But the reason I say that is because I actually didn't know what your answer to the question was going to be.
I didn't know your question.
And you make a really good point because, and I'll digress for a second from what you said is this isn't get rich quick. This isn't you're not going to jump into this and it's going to change your life. Tristan, I had a conversation with somebody just over the weekend that said they were talking about where to start and who can help. And they prefaced it by saying, oh, by the way, I haven't closed a deal in 6 months. In other words, I can't pay you. And so, of course, I can't pay anyone. And I told them, I'm like, listen, there is so much information online. Like this podcast is a great example. This is free. Yeah. And so you just got to have the willingness and the discipline to go find it. I mean, how did you and I learn? Not because we paid anyone. We just figured it out.
Wait, well, hold on a second, Jeff. We tried the paying route.
That's true. Well, that was to buy followers, and that was stupid.
Yeah, that was really stupid. I was like, I lost that account, man. That account disappeared. I was like, fuck.
That's a great point. But to your point, it's not about everybody jumps in thinking, okay, this is going to be a lead machine. I need to start posting all this content. And all of that does need to happen and can happen. But you're right. It's a muscle memory of getting used to opening the social apps, not going down rabbit holes, which is a major quote unquote problem, but it's what the platforms want. It's what they're good at. And intentionally consuming and engaging. That's a great point, dude. That is probably the first place people need to start. So let's talk a little bit further about that. What does that look like? What does that mean? and how do they be intentional about it so they don't get caught watching a Frenchie video and then all of a sudden they're watching 30 Frenchie videos,
Well,
which
hold on.
happens, by the way.
Because no, I actually do that. I get into tangents, but here's the thing that I've done over the years that has helped me. And I know you watch it because we share a lot of stuff. When I'm consuming, the very first thing I know already from the beginning is, and we do this really well, we know that we're consuming to learn and to have an opportunity to maybe share some of what we're learning and watching, or strategies, or, ooh, that's great content, right? So the first thing on that is the mindset. It's like, I'm doing this so that I can learn and then finally get to where I want to get to. It's not like, let's see what's happening on Facebook because I have nothing to do, right? Anytime we open it up, we already have that intent. It's like, great, what can I learn here? Oh, can I share this? And when I find a puppy, for me, Jeff, it's baby ducks and baby chicks with little children hugging them. Okay. I don't know why. But if I'm liking it or loving it, I instantly share it. And that tiny piece of sharing something that you like is creating content. And people forget that piece because you're getting into a rhythm. It's like you're sharing. Because as soon as anyone shares anything, the reason people feel a little anxiety is because other people will be judging them. It's like, I don't care if it's not your content, you're sharing something, you liked it. So other people are going to be like, that's funny, that's stupid, what the hell is that? Right? And so that gets you into the right mindset. That's why, dude, I love sharing things that make me laugh. You see, my whole storyline is just me laughing and sharing it with people. That's so easy for me to do. It's so different than yours, Jeff. You take me through your day, right? And I'm just taking you through my journey on Instagram. It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, completely off subject, but you follow Two Turn Tony? You gotta look him up. He's actually got 2.3 million followers. He's a big influencer, but he's got a duck as a pet.
On Instagram?
On Instagram, yeah. He's always shirtless because he's ripped and he's a good looking guy.
Is that the one that has the dad that does all that stuff with him?
His dad will do stuff with him and his mom yells at him.
Oh yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah.
That
He's pretty entertaining.
Crazy but funny.
No, but that's actually a good point. And I brought that up for two reasons. One, because genuinely is a good follow, but that's a follow for entertainment. And again, this all comes back to being intentional with this stuff. And we as salespeople really just kind of suck at prospecting in general. We don't look at social as prospecting. We get onto social, we go down rabbit holes watching people like Two Turn Tony. And you got to figure out what your intentional is. I think you and I, if we compared, I think if we, like, somebody followed us for a week straight 24/7, I bet you consume more social than I do. I spend more time creating, I think.
No, I think you're right. You're actually right.
And I don't think there's anything right. There's not right or wrong. Like, you got to find your path. You got to find your thing. I just know that a lot of people take this piece of the process for granted. And like when I'm looking for content, like, I know exactly what I'm looking for. I go to Gary V because I will mash up Gary V videos. Like, I go find certain people that I know I'm gonna grab stuff from, or I'm constantly making notes. And I think you hit it on the head, man. The discipline to this process really is how you spend your time, and in doing it very, very intentionally. So I don't know if there's any other tips that we can give other than, not going down rabbit holes, finding people, I think, that inspire you so that you can build and formulate your own plan. That's exactly what I always tell people, is exactly what I did. You were one of those 3 to 5 people in the beginning that I was following, and I was formulating my plan based upon what I was watching you do. And I think you got to find your people, find your style, find your thing, and then start saving stuff. How often are you saving content that you're either gonna that inspires you, you're gonna emulate, you're gonna do whatever with? How often do you do that?
Dude, daily, every time I remember, because we come in with intent, right? I open up social, and the very first thing that I think of is, which one of these am I going to be able to use either to reproduce, talk about, or share? And I'm looking at it, it's like, oh, that's a good one. I can redo that. Or you know what? When I'm on TikTok, I'm looking for one of those CapCut GIFs that's a template. And I'm like, I love that one. I read something earlier in my field, real estate. I'm going to have the real estate news article in the background and use that GIF because they match. I just did that over the weekend on TikTok because I'm paying attention, just like you. And I'll tell you right now, we're up to 26,600 likes, which is, sorry, hold on, 26,600 views, not likes, views. And that's just simply a picture of a news article, and then a simple GIF with the Joker, with Heath Ledger as the Joker. And that's it. It's just me doing that. It's just consistency and paying attention to what's working, what trends are working. So it all starts, though, Jeff, with the confidence to be able to do that and be judged. And it starts with the confidence to engage and go in and say, I'm treating this as a business.
Yeah. Almost as if you're preparing a book report in school. Like you have to, it's like you have to go to the library, which, if you're old like us, you know what a library is. And you go to said library and you open up a bunch of books and encyclopedias and Dewey Decimal System stuff, and you read about stuff. And then you compile and aggregate all this content, and then you put your report together. That's really what you're doing here. Except you're doing it on your phone or on your computer. You're aggregating the styles, the content ideas. You're seeing some of the tools, and you're making notes. How do I do this? And you're aggregating all of these notes for your report, and then you're going back later, and then that's the next step. So the next step, I don't know. I'm just going to ask you. I'm not even going to guess. What do you, so after spending some time doing this and creating your book report, what then is the next step?
The next step is on the next episode.
Right, but I want to tease it.
Oh, damn it. Okay, well, the next step is actually identifying who your audience is. Like, who am I talking to? And we almost never do that, because we think that if I can create as much content as possible to reach out the biggest audience possible, I'm going to hit it big. I'm going to go viral. And it's the opposite. And we'll show you how to do that. We'll talk about that next.
Episode 130. See you there.
Thanks for listening to Social Genius, brought to you by Drunk on Social. We are here to help you take your business to new levels through social media. Make sure to subscribe to get updates on new episodes, and come join us on our Drunk on Social Facebook page. And as always, make sure you leave us a great review on your favorite podcast app. Feedback and likes are very much appreciated.